Namaste. Hi everyone. This is Sujata Sriram from Vishakhapatnam. We welcome all to our new video on soul's journey between birth to death and rebirth. It's also known as the cycle of Samsara in Hinduism. The rebirth is also known as reincarnation. Alphabetically between B and D, there is only one alphabet, that is C, which implies choices. So the choice of life of soul makes for its own journey, the long journey, and ultimately it goes for the liberation, the moksha, which we call the moksha. But between D and B, there are about 25 alphabets, which implies the extent of the soul's journey and the reformation between death and birth. Today, we are going to discuss elaborately the aspects involved in the cycle of our soul's journey. Let us start. Jagadguru Adi Sankaracharya, Jagadguru of Hinduism, the famous Adi Sankaracharya, in his poem Bhajagovindam, he says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि murare. He says that the cycle of samsara is very, very difficult and it involves tedious process for the soul. Hence, the soul prays God for its liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and again rebirth. The cycle of samsara, which involves birth, death, and rebirth, it is illustrated with the soul's aim to attain moksha with the tagline of karma. It shows karma means law of cause and effect. How does this relate to samsara? We will see. The process of reincarnation is there in many types of religious beliefs. Even in many instances, people remembering their previous lives are reported in the media and in books with particular evidence of the events in their previous lives. There are so many examples mentioned in the books and the media. Before dwelling more into soul's journey, let us recap some important issues narrated by Sri Sashi K. Bobna in his article Journey of Soul, wherein he mentions that God created the universe and created billions of centers of consciousness in his own image for companionship and to share his joy. Each soul was once a pure spiritual entity in which was embedded a spark of divine fire. In this cosmic drama, God chose to individuate himself. He divided himself in separate entities whose purpose was to pass through this world of time and space to learn the lessons. The destiny of each soul is to return to thy source. He gave every soul free will, freedom, choice, and power to make decisions and ability to take action. God made the promise that He would not intervene in our lives unless we ask Him to intervene. Law of free will. The soul is purely individual and pursues its own goals. Soul is the being we know as I, the personality, the memories, the uniqueness, and it is that which reincarnates again and again and constantly battles to overcome the flesh and get strengthened. The spirit is the essence of the Creator, which we draw for our spiritual growth. When we are born, each one of us possesses three minds: conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. The conscious mind is the mind of physical body, subconscious is the mind of soul, and it records every thought and action and the deed of that individual soul gets involved in all lives, whether the soul body or a human body. Superconscious mind is the level at which each individual or soul is aware of its relationship to God. This is what we try to tap into through meditation. So, over the great journey of lifetimes from incarnation to incarnation, we are learning to awaken our will and align to our life purpose and the will of the Creator. This is the essential purpose of our lifetimes. The immortal soul contains not only the wisdom of the infinite but also our full spiritual heritage, our thoughts, actions, and desires throughout eternity. Souls also be a part of group. Each soul has designated soul group in a designated soul plane in the spirit world. And the higher planes with more developed souls have higher vibration level. Depending on the spiritual development level, every soul generates a specific color aura. Individual vibration wave pattern represents each soul's aura. Thus, a beginner soul emits white aura, intermediate soul emits yellow, advanced soul light blue, highly advanced soul emits dark bluish purple aura. Guided by their guide or guardian angel, soul group members study and network with each other by the use of criticism and acclaim as each strives towards common goals. The soul's choices. Here, the soul always has its free will and choices. Our decision to either never ever be born on earth or to be born at certain time and place. It has its own free will. Exercising their law of free will, billions of souls have never yet entered a physical body on earth and they continue their learning and development in the soul plane. It is permitted to remain on the soul plane throughout eternity. Although it is harder to advance, on the spirit or soul plane, it seems so simple and easy. You are aware that you are part of divine and you are blend in harmony with those similar interests and vibrations. Here you do not need food or shelter or face the struggles of the physical plane. Soul plane, where the guardian angels give proper guidance and orientation. You know, in the physical level, usually when we take something, we need orientation. It is exactly the same thing happens. Upon arrival in the soul plane, the souls are either met by their personal guide, also called guardian angel, or greeted by their Pitru Devatas, the dead relatives, close friends, or old classmates. After the initial greeting, the souls are made acquainted with the laws which govern their transport and telepathic conversation in the soul plane. So our guide will spend as much time as necessary to explain the nature of reality to us and our present purpose on this plane. The soul chooses its lives for its self-experience and correction. You know, since it is our decision to choose our parents, friends, lovers, or enemies before we are born on earth, we therefore cannot blame any other person or people or bad childhood or any of the implications that happens in our life. We are directly, we are responsible for our lives because we have planned our life, chosen the environment, and have the option to exercise our free will after birth. Even though you pre-plan and basic framework of your new life, but you cannot plan every situation in full detail. Not only does your soul have free will, but so do all the souls that you will come in contact within this new life. So we have to always experience and we have to go for that correction part. The main point is that you have chosen the tests that you will face in your life on this earth. It is the soul's choice. Soul may also opt for some physical or domestic issues. Like we deliberately may choose difficult life challenges such as AIDS, physical illness, physically challenged nature of the body, deafness, or death of loved one, or accident, or alcoholism, or drug addiction. These are all our options. The reasons are many and may include plan for learning through opposites, or to balance past karma, or to provide opportunity for spiritual growth of our own soul or other lives you touch. Each one of us chose a life for a divine purpose that includes but goes well beyond our own learning. Soul looks for spiritual growth and liberation. The soul is permanent, immortal, and is full of never fading bliss. Here, the goal of a soul is only spiritual growth and liberation. Only spiritual growth and liberation. The purpose of life is nothing but development only through the journey of soul. So the religion is following the messenger. Religion is following the messenger. Spirituality is following the message. Again, we are coming back to Bhajagovindam. In Bhajagovindam, in verse 9, it says about from association with wise comes non-attachment. From non-attachment comes freedom and delusion. Through freedom and from delusion comes abiding in the self, the immutable reality. From abiding in the self comes the state of liberated in life. So the Bhajagovindam in a psalm, it says, discover the greater purpose of life. Here it questions always in Sloka 24, who are you? Am I? From where do I come? Who is my mother? Who is my father? Look at everything as essence, listen, give up the world as an ideal dream. And in 17th verse he says, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam, means one may go to Ganga Sagar, observe fast and give away riches in charity. Yet devoid of jnana, the knowledge, nothing can give mukti, the liberation, even at the end of 100 words. It is an ounce of practice, that knowledge that gives liberation from the life. Though the soul wanders through some higher planes, the experience on the earth plane is ultimate and it pushes the soul journey forward. You know, salvation is not from scriptural knowledge, it is from the experiential jnana, that is called wisdom. As we are talking about reincarnation, a famous theosophist, Mr. Ledbetter, gave very good examples of soul's journey in different lives, and present example shows a soul's average lifespan on earth is about 53 and a half years, while the average period between incarnations is about 1017 years. These time periods will vary for different souls and different incarnations. You can see the examples mentioned here and you can identify with whatever I said in this context. The soul will have a series of lives in order to explore all aspects of a particular quality. For instance, a person may be working on power. You may spend some lives being the power behind the throne, some in power, some in misuse of power against others, some powerless, until you understand all aspects of power, including physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. So there are some examples given and sample study made by Walter Semke, wherein he reported that Tipu Sultan initiated missile technology and pursued it in the further as Abdul Kalam. And these are some examples mentioned about Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan and Indira Gandhi. These lives will not necessarily be in chronological order when you opt for this series of lives. There are few more examples mentioned here. There are multitudes of experiences from past lives that can negatively affect our present life daily uh, now. A fear of water can be the result of drowning in past life. A woman who died in a desert sandstorm when she was in a nomad in her last life now has an unusual fear for wind. An overweight man with weakness for foods starved to death in past life. Another man wondered why he was such an overprotective father until he found out that he had deserted his family in two previous incarnations. A workaholic in this life witnessed his family starving to death in Greece hundreds of years ago because he was not able to adequately provide for them. And by overworking himself in this life, he was subconsciously preventing that from ever happening again. So there are so many books here they mention, even Paramahamsa Yogananda's and other scriptural write-ups written by many yogis are always they give great examples for this context. This is an evergreen and ever interesting topic for everyone. When we are on this earth, we always feel our journey, soul's journey after death. So the Garuda Purana in Hinduism, it explains clearly how the soul takes its journey after its death and how it has to be um, taken care while we are on this earth plane. And this Garuda Purana is a very famous version of scripture in Hinduism. And Journey of Souls, and even Swami Sivananda's What Becomes of the Soul After Death. And there are many books, astrological narration, and in Buddhist point of view, and You Forever by Lobsang Rampa. All this, they explain very clearly the journey of soul. See, it is our interest always, it triggers and it gives way to read and understand and imply in our life. So that is how this journey of soul will take its path forward. So this is an amazing topic. The entire compilation is done by Dr. Sriram, and I thank all of you for encouraging to select very interesting topics which gives knowledge for our life to travel in a proper and happy way. So we will come and we will meet again with some more new topic. Hope you enjoy this journey of this video. Thank you. And one small video is also been attached to this. Enjoy. And if you have any points, please add in the comment box those points so that we can really enjoy those extra points. Love to see you all. Thank you. Namaste.
Life as we know it is finite. We are born, we live, and we die. But what happens to us after death? Where does our essence, our soul, go? In many cultures and spiritual traditions, the idea of reincarnation offers a fascinating answer. It suggests that death is not the end, but a transition. It is the soul's journey from one life to the next, a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This journey is a process of learning, evolving, and ultimately achieving liberation. Imagine a vast ocean. Each wave that rises and falls represents a single lifetime. The soul, like the ocean itself, remains constant, experiencing life in countless forms. This continuous cycle is an integral part of many Eastern philosophies, particularly Hinduism. It offers a different perspective on life and death, emphasizing the soul's immortality and its continuous evolution. In Hinduism, the continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth is known as Samsara. It is driven by karma, the law of cause and effect. Every action, thought, and intention creates an energetic imprint that influences our future experiences. Positive actions create positive karma, leading to favorable rebirths, while negative actions result in negative karma and potentially difficult lives. Samsara is often depicted as a wheel, with each segment representing a different realm of existence. The cycle continues until the soul achieves liberation, also known as moksha. This liberation marks the end of the soul's journey through Samsara, freeing it from the cycle of birth and death. You might wonder if rebirth is real. Do we have a say in our next life? According to ancient teachings, yes, we do, albeit indirectly. Our past karma, accumulated over lifetimes, plays a significant role in shaping our future births. It influences who our parents will be, where we will be born, and the circumstances of our lives. This is not a punishment, but a reflection of our past actions and an opportunity for growth. Imagine a soul preparing for rebirth. It carries a record of its past karma, like a script outlining potential life paths. This script isn't fixed, it offers choices and possibilities based on the soul's accumulated karma. The soul chooses a life path that offers the most significant opportunities for learning and karmic resolution. Section 4. Breaking Free, the Path to Liberation. While samsara is a natural part of existence, the ultimate goal in many Eastern traditions is to transcend it. This liberation, known as moksha, is achieved by purifying the mind and heart, living ethically, practicing meditation, and cultivating self-knowledge. Through these practices, we gradually shed our karmic baggage and purify our soul. Imagine a lotus flower blooming in muddy water. Despite its surroundings, the lotus remains pure and untouched. Similarly, through spiritual practices, we can maintain our inner purity amidst life's challenges. By aligning ourselves with our true nature, we break free from the cycle of samsara and attain liberation. Section 5. Echoes of Past Lives, Evidence and Evolution. While reincarnation is a matter of faith for many, some intriguing evidence suggests its possibility. Past life regression therapy, near-death experiences, and children claiming to remember past lives offer glimpses into the soul's journey. These accounts, while anecdotal, provide compelling accounts of reincarnation. They suggest that our soul carries within it the imprints of past experiences, shaping our present and influencing our future. The concept of reincarnation has evolved over time, adapting to different cultures and beliefs. It serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of life and the importance of living ethically. Regardless of whether we remember our past lives, the concept of reincarnation encourages us to live with purpose, compassion, and a desire for spiritual growth.